What is going on, guys? Welcome, Crypto FUD. What is going on, guys? Welcome. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of difficulties with the camera, my program, stuff like that. A little bit different background right now. I had to say, fuck it, and let's just jump right into this, guys. So, not going to be here for too long, but let's do this. The market right now is absolutely ripping right now. Absolutely ripping. You guys can see Bitcoin has run all the way up to $93,000, almost $94,000 before getting rejected. Looking absolutely beautiful right now. The market itself is absolutely running. Bitcoin's up 6% right now. Ethereum's up almost 11% right now. We can go down the board. Bunk right now up 21%. Miro 14%. XRP 6%. You guys can see across the board, Solana up almost 8% right now. Jasmine 8%. The market is going absolutely bonkers right now, guys. What is going on? Welcome. Let's do this, guys. Ricky, Troy, what's going on, boys? Fix this screen real quick. Okay. All right, so like I said, not going to be here for too long, but we definitely wanted to take care of basically going over the charts right now because this is absolute craziness. Amor, what's going on, bro? What is going on? So right now, what is happening with the market? Well, a lot of things. We're hearing that obviously China, stuff like that with the tariffs. I think people are kind of moving off. Right now, we have earnings that just ended with Tesla. And I think the markets are reacting positively for that. We have also a couple other things that have popped up. I don't know if something, this is all just like recent, but supposedly we're seeing that a lot of projects are surging because of ETF moves, stuff like that. It looks like Trump's media technology behind Truth Social is expanding its digital assets to finance via crypto ETF funds. The company revealed on April the 22nd, which is today, that it finalized its partnership with Crypto.com. Looks like for TrueFi brand. These ETFs aim to combine exposures to digital assets in key U.S. sectors such as energy. The fund could launch later this year and will be accessible across North America, Europe, Asia via looks like brokerage platforms. So that's something that's big. We have a lot of big things going on. It's not just with just, you know, Trump and stuff like that, but we have a lot of macro stuff that are going on right now. But everything right now seems to be running up as far as with Bitcoin. A couple other things that have been going on today as well, and for the last few weeks, is gold today actually came down 1% while Bitcoin started to run up. Right, gold's been actually surging, making new all-time highs, while the crypto and, you know, the regular everything else, S&P, have been kind of lagging behind it. Now today you can see S&P's up 2.5%, Nasdaq's up 2.6%. We have Dow Jones 2.6%, and the dollar actually came up 1%. But also with crypto, Bitcoin surging over $5,000 as of right now, up almost 6%, leading the way in the markets right now. So absolutely craziness right now. I mean, this is insane right now. Twan, what's going on? Punk, what's going on, brother? Troy said molecule is starting to go up a little bit. Hopefully it starts running, bro. That market cap's so low, dude, that, I mean, it's not going to take much volume for that thing to absolutely skyrocket. So, man, I'm having to use a different program right now, and I'm just I'm so lost. You guys can see I don't have any background behind me, right? Flip, what's going on, bro? Freaking, I have to use a different program right now. I mean, it's just, I'm all thrown off. I was had everything set up. My computer, I had to restart everything. So I'm running off of just randomness right now with the markets. So let's check out. I don't even have coin market cap up. Nothing, bro. I am so unorganized today. I saw the markets. I was like, bro, we have to run. Look at fear and greed index right now. We're actually about to be exiting the fear. I'm sure tomorrow we're going to be exiting the fear. Look at the market cap, the crypto, all of crypto right now. Market cap's up to almost $3 trillion. If you guys remember, we topped out so far at around 3.7, 3.8 trillion. So we've already gained back because we dropped down to the bottom, which was not that long ago, down to about 2.4 trillion. So we've seen literally $500 billion come into the market in the last few days. Right there, that's, to me, is spelling that we have the markets are getting confident again, as you can see, obviously, with everything running right now. But what it's going to cause, if we can continue this is going to cause FOMO like crazy, if it hasn't already, where you're just going to start seeing a lot of that money that just got scared, that we've been talking about for the last few weeks, few months, that got scared, sold off for losses. They're going to be coming back. Dumb money's going to be coming back. They're going to be buying in while we've all been stacking up during this dip. So if you guys have been buying during this dip, shout out to you guys, because right now you're starting to see the beginning stages of what we're calling, hopefully, us getting back into this bull run that we've been steadily in. We were just in a bear kind of frame inside of a bull market. And I pulled up the analogies so many times back in 2021. We had something so similar happen, and it lasted for about 12 weeks, but eventually we broke out and we made new all-time highs. And the whole space, the whole crypto space, actually, really with alts, that's when we went into an official altcoin season, and everything went absolutely parabolic, like just insane within weeks. Things were 2, 3, 4x and like crazy. Meme coins were going absolutely apeshit, and we have been calling this out for the last few weeks. Some of these meme coins that hit some crazy lows, market caps absolutely decimated. And I was like, this right here, now financial advice, is the best time, in my opinion, to be taking advantage of this market. Tuan said, I don't know why, my gut feeling it might be a fake out. What's your opinion? I mean, listen, as of right now, let's pull up a couple charts here. I'm not going to say that this is a fake out yet because, or as of right now, just because if you really look up, like we pull up the time frame for the 2 hour, we bottomed so far. We call this the double bottom right here, this W pattern. We bottomed at around 74K. Since then, since we hit that double bottom, yes, we've had dips in between. And I think that's why a lot of people have that, shell shock of just like, oh, this is going to be, we're going to dump, at some point, which easily could happen. But this feels different just because we have been steadily moving up, right? And I said this probably 2 months ago when we started to hang out in the 80s. I was like, listen, we are due for this, right? Because we blasted past those 80,000s on the previous run when we ran up to $100,000+. We didn't even acknowledge 80,000 to 89,000. We literally flew by within like 36 hours through the 80Ks, right? So it was bound for us to come back down, obviously to fill in those CME gaps, but also for us to kind of find some footing and find some support in those 80Ks. And that's what I said was probably happening in these last few weeks. We've been really, since we dropped down into the 70s and then we came into the 80s, we have been sitting around literally just consolidating in the last 7 to 8 days around 84, 86,000, somewhere around there. So to me, this feels like, yeah, we could probably get a little bit of a cool off because in the last 2 days, we've literally gone from 83,900 up into about 93,000. So that's a $10,000 move within about 2 days, right? So yeah, I could see us easily maybe retracing. I don't see us coming back down to these lows, but I could see us maybe retracing back down to like 88K, maybe 89,000. We were just at 88, 89,000 earlier today. So if we do possibly come back down to those areas, it might be for one more retest before we really break out up into the, in my opinion, the higher 90s and potentially come back to retest 100,000. I do think that that 100K thousand is going to be a big spot for some resistance, just because we have been down in the 70s and 80s for the last few, like 4 to 6 weeks. We've been hanging around in those areas. A lot of people smart money was buying in. Not all of it, but you're going to see people taking profits at some point, given that, we've just blasted off 10, 20K in the last few weeks, if it still continues to move up. So I do agree with being a little, having that postpartum, as far as it being somewhat of a fake out possibly. But on the flip side, this feels different. It looks different. It feels different. Me personally, you guys know I have a lot of positions open. I also have a short position that I did open up as of today at around 90K. I'm going to let it just sit there because my liquidation's not for a while, and I'll continue to add to it. You guys, my members know exactly what the strategy is on that one. But I'm just basically, I'm kind of preparing for if we do see that, but I'm willing to run that short position. If we run it up, up into the 100Ks, I'll run my position. I'll just keep adding and moving the goalposts higher and higher and higher if I need to. So, because at some point we will, we're going to eventually retrace at some point. So, is it going to be a big fake out and a big drop? I don't necessarily think that's necessarily going to happen where we're going to come back down to some of those scary levels, but who freaking knows, right? Because we've seen this we haven't seen this big of a move in a while, but we have seen moves, in the last few weeks, maybe last few months, where we have pumped up to 89,000 only to come back down and make new lows, right? So, I mean, again, I agree on both ends as far as, if this is some kind of a fake out, but I do think, honestly, majority of what I'm honestly looking at is that it looks like this is the real deal as far as us moving up. There's always going to be some kind of retracements here and there, but I do think for the gist of it, we're going to be probably moving up from here. So we've been saying this for a while, right? Everybody's terrified buying, everybody's terrified they're selling. Right now is the best time. Not right now, but 2 weeks ago, last week, just a few days ago. Beautiful time to be buying. And another thing too, we were saying this in the Discord, certain little projects were giving us signs, right? We had Memecoins going crazy. A lot of projects that people were bringing up that were up 200, 300% in a day, having these crazy spikes. It was like, what the hell is going on? Well, that was probably big money coming into some of these projects, getting their positions ready because they knew something was on the horizon of us moving. And that usually tends to happen before you start seeing Bitcoin and the whole market really just go apeshit, is you'll see little projects or certain projects start moving. They'll have days where they're up 70, 80%. Maybe they'll have a little bit of a retracement after, but you'll see that initial, those moves, and it's like happens in order. This project, that project. And that's exactly what we've been seeing for the last few days, where it's just a bunch of little sporadic projects are having these massive moves towards the upside. And I was like, dude, this is in the Discord. I was like, this is usually a sign that we're probably going to see some movement towards the upside as far as Bitcoin really breaking out. So that's exactly what we've seen. Nope, don't do this. Got my Memecoins chart up. Definitely watching Memecoins. Looking at DeFi right now, we have AI 16Z up, broke out about 30%. Memecoins up 27% for today. Farcoin is up like crazy. It's 27% right now, breaking that $1 billion market cap as of now. Myro up 17% right now. Trump and Memecoin are up 13%. Call up 10%. Let's see here. RNA, if anybody's still messing around with RNA, is up 10%. Troy was calling out molecules up about 7%. I'm sure money will come flowing into there eventually. But for the most part, even DeFi is seeing a massive day today as well. So things look good, great. They look great, good. However you want to put it, things look amazing in my opinion. We'll see how this plays out for that. So see if there's anything big going on CoinMarketCap. Sorry guys, I'm so lost right now because my freaking programs are not working properly, and I was trying to get everything set up, and it was just everything was giving me problems. I'm like, bro. Ricky said, "Don't trust the pump." Don't trust it, guys. Where's Old at? Because you know Old's gonna come in here and be like, bro, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Until we're at 150K, then he's gonna be like, all right, I think this is real. EOS with the super chat, bro. I appreciate that. Can you check out? Yeah, bro. You know what? I just had that on there. I'll bring that up. It's what he's talking about is Arum Trust. I've been talking about this project here and there. This was, if you guys remember, when it dropped about a month ago, I brought it up maybe about 3 weeks ago. This project is based off of gold, right? Gold's been doing really well, and I just said maybe this could be a good little move. So what they're doing is they're buying gold back in the project with gold, and any profits that they're using or they're taking from the gold that they purchase, they're doing buybacks onto the project. So Anything that I'm not a real big gold guy, but it tends to be, something that maybe you want to have in your arsenal just because, especially times like right now, gold's been doing so freaking well. And that's another thing that I wanted to bring up. I'm going to bring this EOS, just bear with me real quick. Let's pull up the gold chart real quick here. So gold has been doing really well as of late, right? And we've been basically talking about this. The reason why you're seeing gold just absolutely ripping is because the markets are terrified, right? And this was as of yesterday, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Gold was making new all-time highs, right? The markets were absolutely terrified. They didn't know what was going to happen with the tariffs, with China and just everything else that's going on, blah, 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 blah. People tend to move over to gold, right? They were jumping out of bonds. They were jumping out of the dollar. The DXY was bottoming out, right? And they were jumping into gold. Well, as of today, look, gold's down, actually having one of its not worst days because it's still up like crazy, but having one of the days where it hasn't seen in a little while, right? Right now down 1.4, almost 1.5%. And coincidentally, you have the rest of the market rallying today. What does that tell you? A lot of money has shifted, that scare money has shifted from gold into riskier assets right now. That usually tends to be an indication that people are getting confident again into the market. As far as this project that EOS was talking about, so this is basically on Chronos as of on the Chronos network. Like I said, it's got a good thing as far as being backed by gold. Like I said, I'm not a real big gold guy, but I do think that we have our projects that are backed with the paired with the dollar. This is paired with gold, right? So I don't think that would be a bad thing necessarily. And regardless of gold going down today, you can see the project actually is up about 42%. It's actually my biggest gainer on my DeFi list right now. So with that, you can see that we had a bottom support level at around the 46.65 area. From there, it looks like we have moved up that 42%. Let me pull up a fib retracement on here and see what's going on. Now, the one thing I will say for this project is it's a fairly new project, right? So it's still, trying to find those spots for some support and resistance. So 46 being so far as a good bottom point. And then you can see we're running up towards the 786 right now, which is most likely going to be a big spot for some resistance. So two things with this particular project. I personally, if I was looking at it right now, I don't know if I'd be FOMOing in as of now. The market cap, fairly low at around 560K. Liquidity's not doing bad, all locked in at around 70K. The numbers look good. Like I said, fairly new project. Volume at 20K. This is on Chronos, so we're not expecting $1 million days necessarily right now for Chronos. It's been ghost town in Chronos, right? So the numbers check out. What I would say personally for myself is if I was interested in this project, obviously hindsight 2020, just yesterday, 2 days ago was probably the prime time to be buying in. But for right now, I personally would not be buying this right this second. I would be waiting to see if maybe there is going to be somewhat of a retracement, right? Because it is up 42% for today. So not saying that it's going to get back down towards this 46 level, but you could easily see it maybe drop down to some certain levels that we can actually map out. You can see right now where it looks like it's trying to bounce, or where it did bounce actually, was a spot that was resistance at around the 40 or the 64 area. So that is a spot that has some support. And then also this 57 area right here. Keep in mind, this is a fairly new chart, so we're kind of running off of, you can call these support and resistance, but in my opinion, anything can happen with this project. Small market cap, you can see a big buy come in and just fly out, or you can see a big sell and it can, not even acknowledge any of these support levels. So with that, I would say the 64, not a bad little area as far as support. If it does break below there, maybe I would start keeping an eye on, if you already obviously have some, maybe DCA and somewhere around that 60 or below, 57 being a big spot that it's bounced off of and was resistance. So I would imagine if it comes down, the 57.9 area would probably be a big spot for some support for there. So, but if you're in the project, obviously you're happy because you're up freaking almost 50%. If you're looking to possibly sell right now, obviously I don't give out financial advice or anything like that, but I don't know. It's up to your discretion. If you're up and you just 2x your money, You guys already know how I always say. I'm always saying secure the bag, right? But if this is just the beginning of this pump, this project could absolutely rip, right? You could see a multi-million-dollar market cap coming. So, I don't know. I feel like it's a little too early. If you're in on any project right now and you're up right now, I feel like I would just keep a close eye on the market, and just make sure this is a legit pump. With that, I would just say, like maybe hold off, not financial advice, and just wait to see if you're, if you should take profits or if this is going to be, something that's just started and we're going to start running up. So, but love the project, bro. We'll keep an eye on it. Thank you for the $5 super chat, bro. I do appreciate that, brother. And like I was saying, it is the number one movers on my DeFi list that I have right now. So, and I think, it's number 4. It's number 4 trending on Chronos. It looks like it's probably the biggest mover on Chronos right now too. We have Mary running up 16%, Loaded Lions up 8%, Moonflow 11%. Like I said, calls up about 11%, Bara. So we're starting to see some action. Still volume's relatively low for Chronos. So imagine when Chronos volume starts flowing back in, you're going to probably see a lot of these projects explode. So yeah, but all in all, across the board, the markets look absolutely fantastic, guys. If you guys are just joining, welcome. I'm in a different kind of scenery today. Usually I don't have a background and all that good stuff, but I had to use a different program today, so I'm running off of fumes right now. But if you're wondering what is going on with the market today, guys, what is going on? Let's actually do some investigation real quick. Let's look up and see, is there anything else that I missed? Gary Gensler takes a shot at crypto. Get out of here. Kick rocks, Gary. So stocks surge on hopes of U.S.-China trade de-escalation. We mentioned that earlier. Let's see if there's anything. Did you guys hear? Did Trump talk? Oh yeah, you know what? Trump's been mentioning that he's been talking to China. So I wonder if maybe there's some kind of news. So market spiked after the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told a group of investors that the current U.S. trade standoff is unsustainable and signaled that a de-escalation is likely. No one thinks the current situation, the current status quo is sustainable, Bassett said during a JP Morgan hosted meeting. Stocks closely tied to China responded positively with the iShares China Large Cap ETF and iShares MSCI China ETF each reaching about 3%. However, equities eased from session highs after Bassett also warned that trade talks had yet to formally begin and that in a final deal could take years. If we walk out the door of negotiations and sign something in a 2 or 3 years that look like that, I would think that is a huge win. The sharp reversal came after Monday's sell-off, with the Dow Jones falling 1,000 points following President Trump's renewed attack on Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Investors remain weary of the uncertain direction of the U.S. trade policy, especially as the administration also engages in discussions with India. That was another thing, too, was that the markets jumped because India is actually coming up and saying, hey, listen, why don't you guys start opening up a lot of factories and start doing a lot of, basically we can turn this into a distribution hub in India. The market's actually kind of rallied because then I think a lot of scared money was like, holy shit, what if we don't necessarily need to deal with China and we could deal with another country that could probably do the output that China's doing, right? Tesla shares rose 5% ahead of earnings report, which just dropped. We have to I'll have to see if I can get the numbers. Although the EV maker remains down roughly 40% for the year to date amid slumping demand and political controversy surrounding the CEO, Mr. Musk. So that's pretty much, in a nutshell, why the markets today are necessarily coming alive. Hopefully we can continue to kind of run off this rally. Like I said, So far, Bitcoin has run up to about 93,000. Oh, we ran up to, 90. I was like, did we hit 94? Looks like we got rejected right below that 94K level. So 93,950 on here. I'm sure on some exchanges like crypto.com, we probably hit like 100,000 on crypto.com because they like to inflate their prices. But it doesn't look like we broke necessarily above the 94K level as of now. So we will continue to monitor this and see how it goes. Meme coins, though, right now, meme coins are alive. We have Pepe. Look how far Pepe came down. Look at that vicious W pattern that's on Pepe right now. Look at that. Nice little double top right there. Or double bottom, I'm sorry. Looks good. Double bottom right there. It's basically keeps coming, or it's come up 1, 2, 3 times to retest the 786 right there at around the 88, 89 level. So it is right there. If this thing can break above, you might see something like Pepe just skyrocket up towards its 618. If it does do a moonshot like that, you're talking, I mean, Pepe could easily run up 50%. And I mean, this is exactly what we called just a few weeks ago. I said this. I said, guys, listen, shit sucks right now unless you're buying in or you're adding to your bag. Right now, I mean, obviously, you're buying and the market keeps going down. It stinks. But I was like, imagine some of these meme coins, right? Maybe not Pepe, because Pepe's kept a really big market cap, but a lot of these other meme coins that were at $1 billion just a few months ago dropped all the way down to like 100 million, sub $100 million. Imagine, this is what I'm saying just a few weeks ago, imagine the pump they're going to get when the markets just slightly come alive. A lot of these just meme coins, even alts as well, right? A lot of these alts, what was I saying? I was expecting probably majority of the market doing at least a 2x just off the first run, right? Just getting back up and running just because the market has dropped down so much and there was so much pimped up, basically money that was just sitting on the side, and these projects were down so much that it's not going to take much for us to just 2x and get back even to where we were at just a few months ago, right? And you're seeing that as of today, just in one day, you're seeing Bitcoin running up over 6%. You're seeing projects that are $1 billion like Pepe up 14%. Bunk, another one, look at this. Hitting that support resistance level that we have marked. Look at that, beautifully hitting that resistance level at around the 15. But I mean, look at this, up 21.6% for today. Myro doing the same thing, up almost 18%, and I've been buying the hell out of Myro. The reason why I was buying the shit out of Myro and maybe not Bunk or Pepe is because Bunk and Pepe, their market caps are outrageous, right? I feel like with something like Myro hasn't actually got to that Binance platform yet. Could get there. Market cap as of just a few days ago, Myro was all the way down to freaking like $11 million. Just, it's mind-blowing how much money was taken out of these projects and how much money is going to come flying right back in. You're talking about a project like Myro that could easily run back up to $100 million just to get back up to where it was at, and I mean, that's a 10x from just a few days ago from where we were at, just a 10x, right? So I mean, it's insane. I think what a lot of people were sleeping on as far as just a few days ago, what some of these projects are going to do if we can continue to keep this momentum running, right? And I think, let's just say the markets have a little bit of a cool off like tomorrow or the next few days because we've run up so much, right? I think a lot of people are still going to be like, you know what? Holy shit, I saw how much the markets are going to move when we actually, this gets serious. I'm going to start buying in on some of these projects and just start accumulating, right? Because, I mean, even right now, with some of these projects like Myro that I'm pulling up, the market cap on Myro is still probably like laughable. Yeah, bro. The market cap's at $14 million right now. Like, I mean, this is insane. Absolutely insane. Myro's gone up to like $200 million, right? And that's breadcrumbs compared to what some of these projects are at or have been at, like Bunk, Mog, Pepe being one of them, Shiba, Doge, Doge getting up to $80 billion back in 2021. I don't think Myro is going to get up to 80 billion, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right? $14 million market cap on a project that's actually traded on a lot of major exchanges is just insane. Is absolutely insane. So that was my theory on picking up, Myro particularly, but I mean, you can go across the board here. Some projects like Fetch was pumping yesterday, right? This was a project that I called out on our members only stream when we bottomed out. I said, bro, Fetch at 35 cents. That's crazy. Because if you guys remember, if you've been here long enough, I was calling Fetch out in the last last bear run when we had bottomed out at around 15 cents. And I was buying the hell out of Fetch. And we ran up to, I think, $3 or $3.60, if I'm not mistaken, on Fetch. I didn't catch the top, but it doesn't matter. Buying in at 50 cents or 15 cents, was an absolute steal. So us coming back down towards that 35 cents for Fetch AI was a big move. Now you can see in the last two days, I believe it is, Fetch is technically up 80%, guys. 80%. This was one of the projects that we said yesterday that was just running out of nowhere. It was kind of giving you those signs that something big was probably coming in the market. XRP having a move, not really going crazy yet for XRP. You guys can see, I mean, from the bottom at $1.60, I didn't even realize XRP dropped so far down. Oh, it dropped even farther down, right? No, did it? I mean, I know I'm looking at the chart, but when was this? Yeah, that was a while back. I'm looking at the daily. Like, no way. So $1.60 was the bottom for XRP. You can see I don't follow XRP like daily charts. Up about 35% from its bottom just a few days ago, right? Solana is a big mover for today. Solana bottoming out at around 95 cents. And you can see so far Solana's up about 54% on this move. So, I mean, and Solana's not a baby project. Obviously, XRP is not either. You're talking about multi-billion dollars market cap, and these things are moving up 50%. And Ethereum, even though Ethereum is down still like crazy, Ethereum today getting support at around the support level, around that $1,533 level. It did break below at around 1380, but you can see this thing had a nice little bounce, and it's starting to look like it wants to break out for XRP. So, I mean, we can go down the list. Tuan said, same crib, I bought the hell out of Myro. I never thought I'd have so much Myro. Bro, if you'd have told me 6 months ago that I was going to have the bag that I have of Myro, I'd be like, no way. No way. I was watching this stream the other day, and these guys, while we were down, they were like, bro, I'm buying Myro. I was just like kind of creeping on the stream. And some people in the chat, we don't know if this was facts, but they were like, yeah, I have 4.5 million Myro. I'm like, 4 million Myro. I'm like, holy shit. I'm thinking my bag's over here like I'm a whale. I hear 4.5 million. I'm like, bro, like I'm a little shrimp in the game. I got a bag, I got a nice bag, but holy hell, $4.5 million Myro. If that thing goes to $1, which could easily happen, Myro getting to $1 would only be a $900 million market cap. Ricky said, the reason Crip was buying Myro, he wanted more than I have. Bro, you know what it was that once Maniki started flipping out and going crazy, like just running up, I was like, bro, Myro was still down at like a $10 million market cap. I was like, bro, I'm going to move a lot of money into Myro while it's down like crazy. I was like, because it's just giving us signs. I was like, these projects are going to just start going crazy, like just jumping up out of nowhere. And, the worst thing is to be looking back. There's two different things, right? To look back and be like, damn it, I had the perfect opportunity. Why didn't I buy a bunch, right? And then there's also the other, on the flip side, when we're up like crazy, you're going to be like, damn it, why didn't I buy a lot, right? So you're always going to have that kind of remorse of why didn't I buy a lot? And then there's also that when you're down like crazy, you're like, damn it, why did I buy so much? Luckily, we're not in that situation right now. So, Gina, what's going on? Gina said, check out Solana DeFi. What do you mean? Gina made it to the live stream. Hell yeah. Bro, I got to get this program situated. I don't know what's going on, bro. What are you laughing at, Ricky? What's so funny, buddy? Popcat's up almost 30%. Pengu, Mog's coming through with the 19%. Brett, 22%. It's crazy because like Popcat and Mog were in the top 100 because of the market caps coming down so much. I have to flip over to the top 200 for me to see their bubbles. Virtual was another thing, right? Was in the top 100. Now I have to go over to the top 200. Snick. Look at this, what the Turbo just popped up out of nowhere. Oh shit. Turbo just popped out of nowhere, dude. What the hell? Up 37%. That's crazy. ALCH doing really well. AI16Z, we already called that one out. 27% as well. Toshi, not doing bad. And I'm sure if we scroll through and we start getting to smaller market caps, you're going to see bigger moves. But I mean, one thing, Nero, not doing bad. Crazy, Nero's market cap must be very low. So I'm down to the top 500 now. Top 600, chill guy. Nothing but green across the board, guys. So great day in crypto. I think the biggest thing right now is just to make sure, we can't make sure, but I think the biggest thing right now is really just to monitor the markets, and just hope this isn't some kind of a fake out. It seems like the markets, they just want to rally, right? We haven't really gotten any crazy big news other than the article that we just read about, I think both parties as far as China and America just wanting to come to some kind of agreement, because at the end of the day, it's like, why do this to each other? Let's just figure it out and let's just all make money. That's how it really is. I think it's like really putting ego aside. You have Trump and you have Xi. I think that's his name, right? Xi. And they're both very respected, powerful guys. And they're like, I'm not standing down. So you have both those egos kind of going at it. They have to figure out a way to where they both look like they won. We could just like get past all this. So Gina said DNA, RNA, molecule. Let me see here. RNA, we pulled up a little while ago. We didn't pull it up, but I did run through it. It's up about 4%. You can see right now, I mean, nothing too crazy. The one thing I'll say about RNA, volume's crazy low, right? Only $2,000 in volume. So hopefully this kind of gets a little boost as far as volume. DNA, 21,000 in volume, so not too bad, right? But you can see, I mean, it's having a decent day. It's up 13% for DNA. So I mean, I think as money kind of flows in, but you have to remember some of these projects, they've been out for a while, so there's just so much competition in DeFi. Everybody wants a new sparkling thing, so these projects probably will just come out of nowhere and have a nice little run, but I do think they're probably going to be short-lived. So if you do see a nice spurt, not financial advice, but take profits on a lot of these projects whenever you get into the green. And then Molecule, it's kind of the same thing, right? The volume's so low on Molecule, but the market cap is absolutely so low. So I mean, it's not going to take much for this project, especially when Solana just keeps running. It's going to bring a lot of these projects up, because whether they're buys or sales, everything's tied into Solana, right? So this market cap only being $30,000, it's $30,000 in Solana. So if Solana's price is moving up, the project is poised to move up as well, as long as there's buys and sells and not just massive sells for these projects. So But kind of the same thing. It's been out for a little while. Volume's kind of dried up. I'm not saying that it won't come back, but that's what these projects are lacking right now, or is all volume. So Ozomo, what's going on, brother? And if you guys are all new here, make sure you guys slap those, hit those likes and hit the subscribe button for me, please. So what are you guys thinking? You think we're going to hit 100K in the next week? $100K coming in the next week. Troy said, yep. Yep. Twan said, I think Myro's going to hit $1 tomorrow. Bro, if it hits $1 tomorrow, I'll be a happy camper. I'm sure a lot of us will be. Let's I hope Maniki hits $1 tomorrow. And I'll be even happier. Let them both hit $1. Farcoin hit a damn dollar. Look at that. Look at that chart, Ricky. I don't know why I didn't buy in when Farcoin was dropped all the way down to 20 cents. I'm sitting here talking trash about Farcoin while it was a beautiful buy. Look at that. Beautiful buy. And this thing is absolutely mooning. From that 20 cents, this thing is up 400%. Friggin' crazy. Good old Farcoin. Oh, Punk said Farcoin ETF. Bro, wouldn't that be crazy? Bro, I wouldn't put it past Farcoin anymore at this point. You have to respect the Farcoin. Like, you can't even put it past it anymore. Like, I mean, Farcoin is a legit massive meme coin as of now. $1.1 billion market cap, $445 million in freaking volume. And you know what's crazy? Is Farcoin hasn't even got onto Binance or CoinMarketCap, right? Let me just make sure. Yeah, they're not even on Binance or CoinMarketCap yet, right? Think about Coinbase and freaking Binance. Just imagine right now they're looking at this project probably. They've been eyeing, and I mean it's doing massive volume, right? It's got $1 billion market cap. If they were to get listed on either one of those platforms or both, you could probably see Farcoin probably becoming one of the biggest meme coins that we have for this season, because it's already at over $1 billion and it hasn't even gotten on those major platforms yet. Pepe, which is on those major platforms, is at a $3.6 billion market cap, right? So, I mean, just think about that. Pepe being one of the biggest meme coins is at 3.6. Freaking Farcoins is literally on its ass. Bunk's at 1.17 billion. It's crazy. And they're on Binance and Coinbase. But you see Farcoin, Bunk's doing 260 million. Farcoin's at almost $500 million and volume. So that volume speaks. That's how these exchanges make their money, is through volume, right? Through buys and sells. So that's usually is a big indicator if these platforms want to list a project. It's going to be volume, because that's how they're making their money, essentially. Let me see. I want to see what Pepe's volume was. I didn't see it. Oh yeah, volume's at $900 million for Pepe. That's crazy. Almost $1 billion. Money's flowing in, guys. Money is flowing in right now. Well, things look good, guys. So I think at the end of the day, right now, Bitcoin ran up to about 94. We'll call it 94K. It had to hit its head somewhere. It's kind of having a little bit of a cool off from that 94K. We're at about 92,800 as of now, looking at the 2 hour. So what do I think as of tonight, tomorrow? Well, let's see how the market plays out. We'll see in the morning. I'll drop it in the Discord as far as S&P futures and how the stock market's going to open up. But I would imagine the stock market tomorrow is going to probably be opening up fairly well. Hopefully we can continue to run on this big move. Do not get scared if we see somewhat of small retracements here and there. I mean, Bitcoin has run up $10,000 in the last few days, right? So, if we do see a little bit of a red day here and there in the next few days, next few weeks, it's probably healthy. Remember, when we ran up and we didn't even acknowledge those 80Ks, to me, I feel like that was a big reason why we had to come back down and basically find some footing in those 80Ks. So if on our way up, if we take it slow, right? Not that we have the power to do this, but hopefully we can see like Bitcoin itself, take it slow, it just runs up. You maybe has some days where it's cooling off. We run up even higher, cool off, higher, things like that. I think naturally that stepping stair, we're gonna move up. It's gonna be natural. We're not gonna see really big sell-offs. When you see, you guys can confirm, whenever you see a project and it runs up hundreds of percents in a day, what happens? It usually retraces because people are going to take profits. But if you're running up small amounts, a little bit of cool off, right? Profit taken, people are buying back in, the buyers, come back in, take control, sellers get exhausted. We kind of have that rhythm. It usually will tend to naturally move us up at a slower pace, but we won't have those massive sell-offs. And that could probably be our ticket for us breaking all-time highs and getting up towards that $130,000, $150,000 Bitcoin that I ultimately think we're going to probably top out at the top of the cycle, right? So we'll see how this plays out, guys. It is April, right? Next month is May, right? And usually that sell in May and walk away, I don't know if that's going to be in effect this time, just because we kind of had all that shit for the last few months. So let's just see, guys, right? I'm on the fence here. I just want to say, I just want to be so bullish, and I am. But at the same time, I got postpartum from, the last few months of us just, getting faked out. So we'll just take it a day at a time. How about that, guys? We'll take it as a day at a time. We'll take these green days when we have them. So just check the chart or the chat. What is Bitcoin's dominance at right now, actually? Let's see that. Oof, look at that. That's what's crazy. That tells you a lot of money's flowing in, because Bitcoin's dominance just made a new freaking high for this cycle. We are literally at the highest we've been for Bitcoin dominance in the last, since we haven't been in this spot since February of 2021. So it has been over 4 years since Bitcoin dominance has been this high up, right? And what's crazy is you're seeing Bitcoin dominance at a sky high spot, but you're also seeing alts alive today as well. So that just shows you that a lot of money is just flowing into the whole crypto space as of now, right? So we definitely want to see dominance start coming down. Obviously, we want to see Bitcoin's price stay high, and I think what we need to do is just Bitcoin needs to get time for it to break up above that 100K. I don't know if dominance is going to continue to move with it, but we could see dominance coming down with Bitcoin's price moving up. All that means is that there are people buying in Bitcoin. Dominance coming down, meaning that a lot of money's flowing in, though, into alts. So we can have best of both worlds there. But when we can see dominance coming down, I think, before, remember what I was calling, just like, what was that, last year? 53, pretty much 54% was altcoin season. I don't know if it's going to be, we should see something that low, but remember, I don't think we're going to get down into the 40s. I really don't think we're going to get down into the 40s with the ETFs and stuff like that. I think a safe spot where alts are going to go crazy, and I mean like altcoin season, would probably be below this 57%, 58, 57%. I think if and when we see that below 57, 50, depending on how far below it goes, is basically how much more money is going to be coming into alts. So all things that we will monitor as we move on. So let's not get ahead of ourselves with that. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much. Enjoy this win for today. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Hopefully we are not with sad faces tomorrow and we don't look like we just got bamboozled and we're just like, bro, Bitcoin's at 100K. All right, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like. Hit the like right now if you haven't already. Slap that subscribe if you're new here, guys. And I will see you guys here.